In this video we are going to see how can we perform binary addition. So let us start with this video. Binary addition. There are 5 basic rules or cases of binary addition. The first case is 0 plus 0 gives you 0. That means if we add two binary digits 0 0, then we get 0. If we have 1 plus 0, that gives you 1. Again 0 plus 1 is also 1, but 1 plus 1 gives you 0 with a carry of 1. Again 1 plus 1 gives you 0 with a carry of 1, right? Then we have 1 plus 1 plus 1, it gives you 1 with a carry of 1. So in order to perform binary additions, you have to keep in mind these rules, or you can say cases of binary additions. So now let us take some examples of binary additions. So this is the first example. In this example we are going to add 10001 and 1010. These are two binary numbers, and we are going to add them. So when we add them as normal decimal additions, we can also perform the binary addition in same way. So when we add 1 plus 0, what is the rule says? 1 plus 0 is 1. So we will note down 1 here. Then 0 plus 1 gives you 1, 0 plus 0 gives you 0, 0 plus 1 gives you 1, and 1 as it is. So the addition of these two binary digit numbers will become 11011, right? How can you cross check it? You can convert this number into decimal, also convert this number into decimal, add these two decimal numbers, and then convert this number into decimal. You will find that the decimal value for this binary number is equals to the sum of decimal value for this number plus this number. So you can cross check in that way. Now let us take another example in which we will see how we can use carry option. So let us see. We have to add 101 0 1 and 10110. So we will write the first number, one number at the top, and the second number after that. Now we add them. 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 1 is again 1. Now this time 1 plus 1 gives you 0 with a carry of 1. So we will write the carry here only, as we do with decimal additions. Now add this 1 to this 0. So 1 plus 0 is 1, and then again add that result, that is 1, to this 0. So 1 plus 0 is again 1. So we get 1 here. Then we add 1 plus 1. What we get? 1 plus 1 is 0, and then we have a carry of 1. So we will write the carry here, and since there is no more digits left, so we will note down the carry and the result. So finally this will be the addition of these two binary numbers. Let us have few more examples. Here is one more example. We are adding 101101 and 11100. So we'll write these two numbers first binary number, then second binary number. Now we will add them. 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 0 is 0, 1 plus 1 is 0 and a carry of 1, right? Now what we have here, 1 plus 1 plus 1. The fifth rule says, or binary addition says, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 1 with a carry of 1, right? Now again 1 plus 0 is 1, and that 1 plus 1 is 0, and we have a carry of 1 here. So this again 1 plus 1 is 0 with a carry of 1, and finally we'll note down that 1 here. So this will be the addition of these two binary numbers. Let us consider one more example with decimal point or fractional binary numbers. So we have two fractional binary numbers, 111.01 and 101.11. We'll add them. First, 1 plus 1 gives you 0 with a carry of 1. Now this 1 plus 0 is 1, and that 1 plus 1 is 0 and carry 1, right? Now 1 plus 1 plus 1 gives you, the fifth rule says 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 1 with a carry of 1. Now 1 plus 1 is 0 with a carry of 1. So we'll write that carry here, and that 0 plus 0 is 0. Now 1 plus 1 plus 1 is, again there is a mistake in this, it should be 1 plus 1 plus 1 here and then carry 1, and finally we'll note down that one. So you have to make one correction here. This is not 0, it is 1 here, because 1 plus 1 plus 1 gives you what? 1 with a carry of 1. So the answer will be 1101.00. So this is how we can perform binary additions. Now the next thing that we have to discuss here is character and string representations. A computer should recognize alphanumeric codes, that is alphabets, punctuation marks, other special characters. This is possible through an encoding system. An encoding system is a predetermined set of codes for each recognized letter, number and symbols. That means whatever we type in computer, suppose we type our name, right? So for that we have to press some buttons from computer's keyboard. So when we press A, it basically generates some code, right? And that code is converted in the form of binary, and then machine understands what the user has entered in the system. So that those codes are known as encoding systems. So we have many encoding systems. Let us discuss them one by one. The first of all, we have an encoding system called ASCII code. This ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange, right? And this is the most widely used alphanumeric code. That is, it is used in most of the microcomputer and mini computers that we are using in current scenarios. It is ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. It is a 7-bit code. 7-bit code. So it has 2 to the power 7, that is 128 possible code groups. So it can represent how many characters? 128 characters it can represent, because it has a 7-bit code, and in 7-bit you can store 2 to the power 7 possible codes. Some examples of ASCII code are, in ASCII form, ASCII code, capital A is the ASCII code for capital A is 65, the ASCII code for Z is 90, for small a it is 97, and for small z it is 122. That means when we press A from keyboard, it generates an ASCII code of 65 in all those computers which uses ASCII code encoding schemes. When we press Z, it generates 90. When we press small z, it generates 122. So for each character there is a specific ASCII value. Then we have ISCII code. It stands for Indian Standard Code for Information Interchange, right? And it is an 8-bit code, and because it is an 8-bit code, so that means it will have more possible code groups, right? More than ASCII code, because that was 2 to the power 7 128 possible code groups. It is 8-bit code group, so we can represent more characters, we can form more possible code groups in this Indian Standard Code for Information Interchange. It retains all ASCII characters. That means all ASCII characters are included in Indian Standard Code for Information Interchange, and offers coding for Indian scripts such as Gurumukhi, Gujarati, Bengali, Odia, Malayalam, etc. So this is in Indian Standard Code for Information Interchange. Then we have Unicode. The world is becoming a global village. A need was being felt for an encoding system that could represent all the known languages characters through one encoding system. That means instead of using different encoding systems, it felt that there should be a common encoding system, right, which can represent all known language characters through one encoding system, and such an encoding system was known as Unicode. That's why it is called Universal Character Set also. To define all characters needed for writing the majority of languages in use on computers in one place. To be superset of all other characters. That means this Unicode will have the characters from all other existing encoding systems. So nowadays every computer has a Unicode encoding system. So that's why we can type our content in different languages. We can type in English, we can type in Indian languages, and in that way we can use these encoding systems. So thank you very much, students. Now you can again go through your textbooks, you can read more contents about these, and if you have any problem at a later stage, you can always ask your queries to me.